So, what is AIDS, and why does it cause people to test positive for HIV? Dr. Robert Malone, the co-inventor of mRNA gene therapy, explains what went wrong with the technology and what this means for the future of humanity.
AIDS is an acronym. It's Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. That's what it stands for, Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. And the data are getting stronger and stronger that the multiple vaccine recipients are having, as we mentioned before, a T cell suppression. Their T cells aren't functioning as well as they should be. And you can see various markers of downregulation of key signaling molecules and the nuances that we don't have to go into. It's measurable. Okay, so there is evidence of an acquired T cell immunodeficiency in the multiple vaccinated. Okay, so is that clinically significant? You always got to say, well, you can measure something in the laboratory, who cares? Is it actually causing problems for patients? Well, Ryan Cole was one of the first ones to signal about the canary in the coal mine of the appearance that there are cancers springing up that are unusually aggressive at early age, or that were in a kind of an indolent or slow growing stage and then suddenly become very aggressive cancers. He's talked about endometrial cancer originally, cancer of the lining of the uterus. But there's many others now that are popping up that are being observed by cancer surgeons and diagnostic radiologists and pathologists.
Every day, Dr. Malone's warning about turbo cancer becomes harder to dismiss. People are succumbing to aggressive cancers at an alarming rate. And doctors are warning that aggressive turbo cancer is here to stay. For the first time since the rollout, prominent political figures are addressing the consequences of the jabs on mainstream television. And bit by bit, the world is starting to wake up.
Over the COVID jabs. I mean, I want answers over the COVID jabs. My sister, she had the COVID jab and she died twice, had to be resuscitated. She ended up in a coma for a few weeks while my mum was dying at the same time, and she woke up paralysed from the neck down. And this was after having the COVID jab.
Now, independent family physicians, the only doctors we can truly trust, free from conflicts of interest, are stepping forward to blow the whistle on the devastating consequences of the jabs.
My name is Christine Drivdahl Smith, Drivdahl-Smith. I am a family physician in Miles City. I have no conflict of interest. I am a volunteer board member of the Montana Medical Freedom Alliance. Gene-based vaccines, or mRNA vaccines, are the most destructive and lethal medical products that have ever been used in human history. I am asking you to support this bill banning gene-based vaccines so that we can halt continued harm, disability, and death of our citizens. Gene-based vaccines include the COVID-19 shots, and there is one other RSV shot that was approved for this past year for older adults. There are ongoing trials for influenza and bird flu, and there are dozens more in development. The COVID shots were rolled out just over 4 years ago under Emergency Use Authorization, or EUA. This has been renewed multiple times. The last renewal was in December of 2024 and extended the EUA until 2029, which also extends the liability protections. Under EUA, the FDA may allow use of unapproved medical products, including experimental products. Further, the regulatory procedures do not apply to the EUA products, which explains why the FDA has not withdrawn these dangerous vaccines. By the end of 2024, there was over 38,000 deaths reported to the VAERS system, with a known underreporting factor of 31 to as much as 100. There are over 3,400 peer-reviewed studies in the medical literature describing injury from these vaccines, including cardiac arrest, myocarditis, blood clots, immune suppression, autoimmune disorders, cancers, neurological disorders, prion-induced disease, pregnancy harms, and miscarriage. Every highly vaccinated country has had a significant increase in all-cause mortality, a decrease in life expectancy, and a decrease in fertility.
All right, so they're not safe. But hey, at least they protect you from that virus with a 99.99% survival rate, right? Oh wait, they don't even do that. And it gets even worse.
These vaccines do not prevent disease or transmission. In fact, the more shots one receives, the more likely they are to get COVID. Over a year ago, it was discovered that the COVID shots are contaminated with DNA. This has now been confirmed by multiple labs around the world. The amount exceeds the regulatory limits by as much as 400 times. The presence of this genetic material increases the risk of cancer in the recipient. And this foreign genetic material has now been found within dividing human cells in a petri dish and in colon cancer biopsies. These mRNA vaccines, like other gene therapy medical products, can be shed to others via blood, body fluids, excrement, and airborne exosomes. Studies have now confirmed that these products are shedding to others and that those exposed via shedding can experience adverse reactions. As you can see, there are no benefits and only the potential for harm. And yet, 23% of Americans continue to receive boosters. The American College of OB-GYN continues to recommend COVID shots to pregnant patients. And the CDC has added the COVID shots to the pediatric vaccine schedule starting at 6 months of age. There have been ever-increasing calls for an immediate ban by professional groups all across the globe. 5 states' attorneys general have filed a suit against Pfizer for misrepresenting the effectiveness of the COVID shots. And just last week, citizens filed a petition with the FDA to remove these products because the DNA contamination was not revealed to the regulators. The drug companies, the regulators, the federal government have failed to act. We all know that the hands of justice move slowly. Time is of the essence. I've spent over half of my medical career in emergency medicine. And during a trauma code, the most important thing is to stop the bleeding. So I'm asking all of you to use common sense and Montana let's get this done attitude. We must ban gene-based vaccines in Montana. Thank you.
They must be banned in Montana, banned across the nation, and banned around the world. And then we must demand justice for the crimes committed by the global elite during the pandemic. Until that day comes, we can't rest in our pursuit for justice. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the crimes of the global elite, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel, spread this video far and wide, and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored content. I hope to see you there. Today's video is